Have you ever felt something stir deep inside you, like a wave of energy you can't quite name, but you know it's waking something profound? That's what happens when the twin flame connection activates the Kundalini energy within you. It's not just a shift. It's a complete transformation, a turning point that forever changes the way you see yourself, your relationships, and the world around you. The thing about twin flames is that the connection isn't just about love or romance. It's a catalyst for spiritual awakening. And when Kundalini energy is involved, it becomes impossible to return to who you were before. It's like walking through a door you didn't even realize was there. And once you step through, there's no going back. But what does that really mean? How does this energy, this force, shape you in ways that are impossible to ignore? Let's dive into these 4 insights together. 1. It completely dismantles your old self. When the Kundalini energy awakens through the twin flame connection, it feels like your soul is on fire. Not in a painful way, but in a way that burns away every illusion you've ever carried. All the masks, all the labels, and even the beliefs you thought defined you, they start to crumble. It's not always comfortable. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, and for the first time, you see everything about yourself, not just the parts you like to show to the world. You see your fears, your patterns, your wounds, and you can't look away. But here's the thing. This isn't about judgment or punishment. It's about liberation. Kundalini energy doesn't let you stay small. It strips away the ego's illusions so you can step into your highest truth. It's like shedding an old skin you've outgrown. Scary? Yes. But freeing? Absolutely. And you'll notice this in your everyday life. Old habits, relationships, or careers that no longer align with your soul's purpose. They'll naturally start to fall away. It might feel like loss at first, but really it's space being created for something new to emerge. 2. Your connection to energy becomes unshakable. Before Kundalini awakens, most of us live in a world of doing, always focused on the external, the tangible, the logical. But when this energy rises, it's like you suddenly tune into a higher frequency. You don't just see the world, you feel it. You become hyper-aware of energy, not just in yourself, but in everything around you. It's like seeing the threads that connect everything, and suddenly, the idea of separation feels like an illusion. You realize you're part of something so much bigger than yourself. Even your physical body starts to feel different. You might feel waves of heat or tingling sensations as the energy moves through you. It's your body adjusting to hold this higher vibration. But more than that, you start to trust your intuition in ways you never have before. It's as if your inner compass gets fine-tuned, and you just know things without needing proof. This isn't just about being more spiritual. It's about reconnecting to the essence of who you've always been. 3. Relationships take on a whole new meaning. The twin flame connection itself is unlike anything else. It's not about completion. It's about mirroring. They reflect your deepest truths back to you. And yes, that includes the parts you'd rather avoid. But that's the gift. This connection forces you to look at love differently. It's not about possession, attachment, or validation. It's about unconditional love, first for yourself, and then for others. You'll find that your relationships with everyone around you start to shift. Some connections will deepen because they align with your new vibration, while others will fall away because they no longer resonate. It's not about rejection. It's about alignment. And here's the thing. When Kundalini energy is involved, you become so magnetic. Not because you're trying, but because you're living from such an authentic place that people are drawn to that light within you. It's effortless, but you also become more discerning. You no longer settle for surface-level connections. You crave depth, truth, and alignment in every interaction. For it opens the door to your soul's purpose. This is perhaps the most transformative aspect of all. The awakening of Kundalini energy pushes you toward your soul's purpose like a wave you can't resist. It's as if the universe says, "It's time," and suddenly, the things you were once afraid to pursue feel inevitable. Your twin flame often acts as the trigger for this, not because they complete you, but because they remind you of who you are at your core. They awaken your potential, your gifts, and your deepest desires. This isn't always about grand gestures or dramatic life changes, although it can be. Sometimes it's about subtle, steady shifts that lead you toward alignment. You start to notice synchronicities everywhere, guiding you in ways that feel too perfect to be coincidence. You might feel called to creative pursuits, healing work, or simply showing up in the world as your most authentic self. But whatever it is, you'll know it's right because it feels effortless, like the universe is working with you instead of against you. And through all of this, the most profound realization is that the twin flame connection and Kundalini awakening aren't separate from you. They are you. They're reminders of your infinite potential, of the divinity within you that's always been there. It's not an easy journey, but it's one of the most rewarding. Because once you've awakened to this energy, you start to see the world differently. Not as a place of limitation, but as a playground for growth, connection, and expansion. So, if you're on this path, know that you're not alone. Every challenge, every breakthrough, every shift is part of something so much greater. You're stepping into a version of yourself you were always meant to be. And isn't that the most beautiful thing of all? When you embrace the transformation that Kundalini energy brings, you start to notice something remarkable. The entire fabric of your life begins to realign itself. It's almost like your external world reorganizes to match the new vibration you're holding inside. Things that once felt stuck, stagnant, or impossible suddenly begin to flow. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about changing your circumstances. It's about changing your relationship with life itself. You begin to see challenges differently. Instead of obstacles, they feel like opportunities to grow, to shed another layer of limitation, to step closer to your truth. It's not that life becomes easier overnight. Far from it. In fact, the Kundalini awakening can bring its fair share of turbulence. But the difference is in how you respond. There's a deep sense of trust that starts to take root, a knowing that everything, even the hard stuff, is serving your highest good. The art of surrender. One of the greatest lessons of this journey is surrender. And let's be honest, that's not always easy. As humans, we're wired to control, to plan, to hold on tightly to the things we think we need. But Kundalini energy doesn't work like that. It's like a river, powerful, unrelenting, and deeply wise. You can't fight it, and you can't force it to move faster or slower than it's meant to. Surrendering to this energy feels like letting go of the need to have all the answers. It's about trusting that the universe knows exactly what it's doing, even when you don't. And ironically, it's in that surrender that you find your greatest strength. When you stop resisting, you start flowing. You stop clinging to the version of yourself you used to be and open yourself up to the version you're becoming. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you start to feel truly alive. A new relationship with time. Something else that shifts during this process is your perception of time. Before, you might have felt constantly rushed like there was never enough time to do everything you wanted. But when Kundalini awakens, time starts to feel different. It's not that the clock slows down, but you begin to live in the present moment in a way that's profoundly grounding. You realize that the past doesn't define you and the future doesn't control you. All you really have is right now, and that's more than enough. This shift in perspective creates space for joy. You find yourself savoring the little things, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the way the wind moves through the trees, the sound of laughter. These moments feel fuller, richer, more vibrant. And in those moments, you start to understand what it really means to be alive. The power of inner union. One of the most beautiful gifts of the Twin Flame Kundalini awakening is the realization that union isn't something that happens outside of you. It's something that happens within you. So often, we look to external relationships to fill the voids we feel inside. We seek validation, love, and connection from others, hoping it will make us feel whole. But the Twin Flame journey teaches you that true union starts with yourself. When Kundalini rises, it brings the masculine and feminine energies within you into balance. You begin to feel this harmony in your own being, a deep, unshakable sense of completeness. And from that place of inner union, all your external relationships begin to transform. You stop seeking love from a place of lack because you already feel it within yourself. You stop looking for someone else to complete you because you've already remembered your own wholeness. And that's when the most beautiful connections start to flow effortlessly into your life. Not because you need them, but because they align with the love you've cultivated within. The ripple effect of awakening. Here's something incredible. When you awaken, it doesn't just change you. It creates a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Your energy becomes magnetic. Not because you're trying to attract anything, but because you're living in alignment with your truth. People feel that. They're drawn to the authenticity, the light, the love that radiates from you. And in your presence, they start to remember their own light too. You might notice that friends, family members, or even strangers begin to open up to you in ways they never have before. They sense the shift in you, even if they can't quite put it into words. And in those moments, you realize that your awakening isn't just for you. It's part of something so much bigger. Because when one person rises, they inspire others to rise too. Your journey becomes a beacon, a reminder that transformation is possible, that we're all capable of stepping into our highest potential. The journey is ongoing. It's important to remember that this isn't a one-time event. Kundalini awakening is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments of clarity and bliss, but there will also be moments of confusion and challenge. And that's okay. The path of awakening isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up for yourself, again and again, with compassion and curiosity. It's about trusting that even when the path feels unclear, you're exactly where you're meant to be. And perhaps most importantly, it's about remembering that you're never alone. The Twin Flame connection reminds you of the infinite web of energy that connects us all. You're part of something so much greater than yourself, and that knowing is one of the greatest gifts of all. So, if you're in the midst of this transformation, take a deep breath. Honor where you are, and know that every step of the journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. You're not just changing, you're becoming. And that is a beautiful thing. And in the end, when you look back on this journey, you'll see how every challenge, every shift, and every breakthrough brought you closer to the truth of who you are. You'll realize that the Kundalini awakening wasn't just a process of change. It was a process of coming home to yourself. Because that's what this journey is really about. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering the infinite, radiant soul you've always been. And isn't it wild how everything starts to feel like it's been guiding you to this point all along? Even the moments that felt like chaos or heartbreak, they start to make sense in hindsight. Like puzzle pieces falling into place, you realize that the twin flame journey and Kundalini awakening were never random. They were part of a greater plan, a divine choreography designed to awaken you to your truth. What's beautiful is how this process rewires the way you see your own story. The parts of your life that once felt like failures or mistakes begin to reveal themselves as lessons. You see how each experience was a thread in the tapestry of your growth. It's not just about forgiving your past. It's about loving it, loving the messy, imperfect, raw humanity of it all. The dance of duality and unity. One of the most profound realizations that comes with the twin flame Kundalini awakening is the understanding of duality. For so long, we live in a world of opposites. Light and dark, love and fear, masculine and feminine, separation and connection. But as the energy rises, you start to see that these opposites aren't separate at all. They're part of the same whole. It's like yin and yang. The darkness exists to highlight the light, and the light exists to embrace the darkness. And you begin to see this not just in the external world, but within yourself. The parts of you that you once rejected, the shadows, the doubts, the fears, they don't go away. Instead, they integrate. You learn to hold space for your entire being, to see yourself as a whole and complete creation. And in that integration, there's an immense sense of peace. The same goes for your twin flame connection. It's often described as a mirror, and for good reason. They reflect your light back to you, but they also reflect your shadows. And that can be uncomfortable, even triggering. But it's in this reflection that the deepest healing takes place. You start to realize that the love you seek from them is the love you're learning to give to yourself. The harmony you desire with them begins with the harmony you create within. And as you embrace this, the need for union shifts. It's no longer about being with them in the physical sense. It's about embodying the union within yourself. Awakening to universal love. This journey also opens you to a love that transcends the personal. It's not just about romantic love or even self-love. It's about universal love. You begin to see the divine in everyone and everything. The walls that once separated you from others start to dissolve. You realize that we're all connected, all part of the same infinite source. And this awareness shifts how you move through the world. You approach life with more compassion, more patience, more presence. Even in moments of conflict or misunderstanding, you're able to see beyond the surface. You recognize the soul behind the story, the essence behind the ego. And that recognition transforms how you interact with others. It doesn't mean you become a saint or that you never experience frustration or hurt. You're still human after all, but there's a deeper layer of understanding that anchors you. Even when things feel chaotic on the surface, you trust in the underlying harmony of it all. Your energy becomes a beacon. As you move further along this path, something remarkable happens. You become a living, breathing embodiment of the energy you've awakened. Your very presence begins to shift the energy of the spaces you enter. People might not even understand why, but they feel it. They feel calmer around you, more open, more aligned. It's not because you're trying to fix anyone or change anything. It's simply the result of living in alignment with your truth. And here's the thing, it's not about being perfect. Far from it. It's about being authentic. When you live from a place of authenticity, you give others permission to do the same. Your vulnerability becomes your strength, and your willingness to be seen, flaws and all, creates a ripple effect of healing. This is the true power of the Kundalini awakening and the twin flame journey. It's not just about transforming yourself. It's about transforming the world through the energy you bring to it. A journey with no end. The beauty of this process is that it's infinite. There's no finish line, no point where you arrive. And that's a good thing, because the journey itself is the gift. Each new layer of awakening brings deeper understanding, deeper connection, deeper love. You'll continue to grow, to expand, to evolve, always moving closer to the divine essence within you. And as you do, you'll inspire others to embark on their own journeys. Not by telling them what to do or how to awaken, but simply by being yourself. Your energy, your light, your authenticity, it will be enough to spark something in them. So, if you ever feel overwhelmed by the intensity of this path, remember this. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Every step, every twist, every turn is part of your soul's divine unfolding. And as you keep walking this path, you'll come to see that the journey isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering who you've always been, an infinite, radiant soul on a human adventure. So take a deep breath, feel the energy moving through you, and trust the process. You're awakening to the truth of your being, one moment at a time. And that, my friend, is the most beautiful journey of all.